everyone. It's Pastor Steve here with our Monday Minute for July the 13th of 2020. Glad to be coming to you today from the back patio here at the house. And I'll get to the point of why I'm out here in this way in just a minute. I want to thank everyone who was able to show up to our gathering on the green this past Wednesday for our Bring Your Own picnic. It was a good turnout. There was some good singing led by Bev Radcliffe, and a great opportunity for us to get together. So we're glad that we were able to do that. And we look forward to our next adventure, our outdoor movie night, which is coming up on Wednesday, July the 22nd at the Gasaways backyard. And we hope that you'll be able to join us for them. Today, like I said, I'm coming to you from my back patio here, which I often do, but in a little bit of a different format, because we're having some work done over here at the parsonage, some much needed repair work that's needed to be done here on the patio. And they initially called us after we had contracted with them and said, hey, we can be out here on Friday to get this thing going and get most of everything done, and then we'll be able to come back and clean up on Monday. Well, as some of you might know, the weather on Friday did not turn out, at least in the afternoon, the way that we wanted it to. And so they got the job started, but they weren't able to finish. And so for the entire weekend, instead of having our outdoor patio to be able to enjoy, we have been left with something that looks like this. Now, as you can see, there's all of our patio furniture and our grill and a bunch of other stuff that we had to move off out here onto the back lawn. And the other thing that you can see is the work as it had stopped, with piles of dirt, our pavers, and some other stones and bricks that are just stacked up over here, all their work equipment as well. And if I take you down here just a little bit further, you can see some of the progress that they started to make, but then just had to stop. And this is only phase one of the rebuilding. There's so much more to do here on our steps and a few other spaces along the way. So we've got an empty patio with spots that we cannot walk on, or I shouldn't be walking on. But nonetheless, they got started, but they weren't able to finish. That got me thinking today about what it is to build. Building, in the end, is something that is great. It gives us exactly what we want. It gives us, for example, a patio to enjoy, or a home to live in, a church where we're able to gather together and to worship in, and to share a lot of our life events together. Those buildings, if you will, are great things. Those things that we construct can do us a lot of good. However, the building process itself is painstaking. None of us like it. We're impatient. We don't want to have to deal with it. We've had to endure, as I said, an entire weekend, I know, first world problems, of where we weren't able to use our patio in the way that we wanted to, so we could find some relaxation and enjoyment in these days that we have here. But in the same token, we have to go through this time of building, or in this case, rebuilding, in order to be able to enjoy more fully what it was that we had. These repairs were much needed, and otherwise it wouldn't have been safe for us to be out here in the first place. It really wasn't. It definitely wasn't safe for some other folks who have a little more trouble walking and the like. So we need to make these changes in order that this can last for even longer. But in the meantime, we're impatient, thinking about what we weren't able to do just in the short term, but we have to also keep in mind the long-term goal. The Apostle Paul talks about building in 1 Corinthians chapter 3. In verse 10, he says that by the grace of God, he was given the ability to lay the foundation that others have built upon. And the builder does as they choose, and they must choose wisely. But then he goes on to say in verse 12 that no one can do anything but build upon the foundation that was laid by Jesus Christ. And that's part of what we have to do right here and right now. We're trying in our rush to get back to what we've always wanted to do and to be able to do it exactly the same way that we did, just like on our patio here. But in the same token, we know that we have to endure some of these things in the first place. We have to go through a little bit of pain. We have to go through a little bit of messiness, as I was showing you earlier, in order to get the final result. Because the foundation that we're building upon is Christ himself. In these last several months now, we have had to start rebuilding from scratch how we have been church, how we do worship, and try to envision how we're going to go forward in faith. And we've had to do some new things. We've tried to do some new things. And the biggest question, of course, that we always get is, when are we going to be able to go back to in-person worship? When are we going to be able to go back to the way things were? I'd like to get to in-person worship just as much as anybody else. But everybody's health and safety, of course, is the most important thing. Just like as we're working on our patio, everybody's safety is the most important thing. So we have to tear it apart. We have to take it back down here, in some cases to the foundation, in order to build it back up to be just as good, if not better, than it was before. And that's what we're doing here now. We have had to take our way that we have been church, and we have had to take the way that we have worshiped together, and we've had to take it down to its basest level, that foundation of Jesus Christ, if you will. And now we're having to figure out how to build that back up. And what we know is that while it will look similar, it's not going to be the same. But hopefully, it will be stronger for it. Just like we have been doing in these last couple of weeks, where we've come up with the idea just to even bring you these Monday memos and other things throughout the week. So as we continue to go into this summertime here, and as we continue to look for new and different ways to be together, let's never forget that foundation that we are built upon, and that is Jesus Christ. And that foundation is solid and secure. We have to build upon it now the way that we best see fit for this time and space. But together, if we do build that, we will be able to have something stronger, something that is safe for everyone to participate in, and to be able to reach more people for Jesus Christ. That is our ultimate goal and what we set out to accomplish. We'll look forward to doing that together in our online world, and as we do find ways to get back together in person. Till then, let's all stay safe out there. Let's take care of one another, and remember who our hope is built on, our foundation, Christ our Lord. Have a great week.
Are you ready for the most epic adventure ever?